please welcome SSRO. Ah, the movies.
Ah, the radio.
Ah, those magical stories of make-believe lands and characters.
Hollywood, land of hope, land of hype, land of scandal, and land of memories.
The wonders of film have captured all of us, whether it's a comedy, drama, adventure, science fiction, or a feel-good family script.
The nostalgia of old-time radio programs and the picture they paint will never be forgotten.
The talents and wit of fairy tales can amuse, entertain, frighten, and teach, all at the same time.
And today we celebrate the magic of all of it.
Rapunzel's story will never be the same.
Your favorite movie lines will take on a brand new meaning in life.
A favorite animal story becomes an impossible tongue twister.
We introduce movie trailers for films you've almost heard of.
A classic movie love story gets a facelift.
An exact recreation of a 1940s radio series that spawned a major motion picture will end our program with laughter and applause.
Fractured films.
Ruptured radio.
And fragmented fairy tales.
Now
on with the show.
Mangled movie trailers.
This is the story of a veterinarian that misplaced all of the pets that were in his care. Arriving soon to the big screen, a tale of two kitties forever gone and the vet that lost them. Calico Pictures presents A Fistful of Collars.
The Bards were snowed in, never knowing if they would see civilization again because of the storm. William suggested they should wait until the weather cleared and hope for a rescue. Ronaldo thought they should strike out right away before the storm got even worse. They were left with the age-old conundrum, to ski or not to ski? That is the question.
A striking young woman opened a bakery in town, but nobody seemed to know her secret. Nobody's bread rose like hers. Nobody's rolls were so light and fluffy. And nobody's donuts, homemade beer, or wine could even compare. MGM and United Pictures presents Beauty and the Yeast.
Nobody dared to set foot on her property, not even the bravest of men. The whole town knew that she was a volatile, unbalanced, and unpredictable woman. Even her husband was no match for her. But it was her Canis lupus that was the real threat. Dogstar Pictures presents Who's Afraid of Virginia's Wolf?
Here's a story of three little rabbits. They were named Foot, Foot-Foot, and Foot-Foot-Foot. They had run out of things to eat in the garden they had been raiding. So Foot-Foot said,
Look, Foot and Foot-Foot, I'm going off to find a new garden in a new territory.
So Foot-Foot and Foot said goodbye to Foot-Foot-Foot, and old Foot-Foot-Foot, he hopped and he hopped and he hopped and he hopped and he hopped, and finally he found a nice garden. In the meantime, back home, old Foot got sick. He felt just terrible. So Foot said,
Foot-Foot?
And Foot-Foot said,
Yes, Foot?
And Foot said,
Well, Foot-Foot, I'm sick.
And Foot-Foot, he said,
Well, Foot, what's the matter with you?
And Foot said,
Foot-Foot, I don't know, but I think I got a hold of a bad carrot, and I feel like I'm going to die. Will you go and find Foot-Foot-Foot?
And Foot-Foot said,
Okay, Foot.
So old Foot-Foot, he said goodbye to Foot. and he hopped, 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 and he finally found old Foot, Foot, Foot. And Foot, Foot said,
Hi, Foot, Foot, Foot.
and Foot, Foot, Foot said,
Hi, Foot, Foot. What's the matter?
Foot, Foot said,
Well, Foot, Foot, Foot. Foot is sick.
and Foot, Foot, Foot said to Foot, Foot,
What's wrong with Foot?
and Foot, Foot, he said to Foot, Foot, Foot,
Well, Foot, 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 he thinks he got a hold of a bad carrot, and he thinks he's gonna die.
old Foot, Foot, Foot said,
Ah, you go back, and if it gets worse, you take him to a foot doctor.
So old Foot, Foot, he said goodbye to Foot, 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 and Foot, Foot, Foot said goodbye to Foot, Foot. So Foot, Foot, he hopped, and 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 he finally found old Foot again. Old Foot had died, and all 4 feet were stuck straight up in the air. It scared him so much that they had a funeral right there, and all the neighborhood rabbits came. And Foot, Foot thought he had better go and tell Foot, Foot, Foot. So he hopped, and 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 he finally found old Foot, Foot, Foot. Foot, Foot, Foot said,
What is it, Foot, Foot?
and Foot, Foot said to Foot, Foot, Foot.
Foot, Foot, Foot. Foot has died.
Foot, Foot said to Foot, Foot, Foot.
I had a bite of the same carrot, and I feel like I'm gonna die too.
And Foot, 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 he said to Foot, Foot.
Foot, 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 you can't die. We've already got 1 foot in the grave now.
More mangled movie trailers.
Rose of Sharon was unhappy in her marriage. She knew there was only one way out, and she wasn't afraid to take it. She waited for her husband to arrive home, hiding behind the curtains before making her next move. Retribution Cinema presents The Drapes of Wrath.
After serving his country in the military, Jerry moves abroad to fulfill his dream of becoming an artist. Soon he's embroiled in a hot and heavy romance with a friend's fiancée, struggling to balance his passionate fling with his steadfast friendships. Before long, his secret is out, and punishment is swift. Eiffel Tower Pictures presents An American in Plaster of Paris.
All 3 brothers played baseball. All 3 hoped to be stars. Living together in an isolated cabin, they filled their days and nights with throwing, pitching, and catching. They ate, slept, and drank baseball. But while they were at a game, a little blonde girl stumbled upon their house. Yogi Productions presents Goldilocks and the 3 Bears.
Deep in the Siberian forest, a miraculous birth took place. The Russian peasant woman knew her son was destined to be something great, even coming from such a humble beginning. The boy could dance, sing, read poetry, and charm even the most ferocious of woodland creatures. Someday, he would be the most important man in all the land. Arctic Pictures presents A Tsar is Born.
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, get out of my hair!
Once upon a time, I lived a life of peace and quiet. I know witches have a bad reputation, but it never bothered me until these idiots came into my life. Other than an occasional flight during the full moon with my pet frog, Fred, I spend most of my time putting around my garden. I grow prize-winning vegetables. They're known all over the kingdom. It all started one day when I was tending my tomatoes. I saw an intruder skulking around my garden. Of course, my first reaction was to cast a spell and turn the man to stone.
Please, madam, forgive me. I just came to borrow some rampion, and everyone knows you grow the best.
I don't believe the word is borrow, and I think it is time to call the cops.
Oh, it's not for me. It's for my wife. Rampion, that's all she says. Day and night, night and day. She's given me no peace in weeks. If I don't come home with some rampion, my life will be torture.
Torture. Ooh, I love the sound of that. You've trampled on 3 rows of rue and ruined next year's crop of coriander. Torture. I better just call the police.
No. Please don't call the police. It will ruin me. Just give me a minute to think here. I know. I'll give you my golden goose.
What does she need with another goose? She's already got 6 golden geese.
Well, how about these snazzy magic boots? So you can travel anywhere.
Excuse me, she's a witch. She does have a broom.
Well, the only thing I have left is my daughter. She could cook and clean for you and help you with your garden.
Well, I'm not getting any younger, and bending down to weed the garden is getting difficult. It might be nice to have someone to wash the pots and pans for me.
Two weeks later,
I can't believe it. That girl didn't do the dishes again. Some big help she is. Rapunzel, where are you?
Like, what is it this time? This place is the pits. Why don't you get someone in here to clean up this house?
You were supposed to do the dishes.
I had to wash my hair, and it takes forever to dry in this cold, drafty place.
Why don't you work in the garden? The sun will dry your hair in no time.
The sun? OMG. Do you know what the sun will do to my complexion? Plus, the ultraviolet light isn't good for my hair. Just look what all those years of working in that yucky garden has done for you.
I give up. Let's see if the mail has come. Another letter's been returned from your parents. My eyes aren't so good anymore. What's this note on the envelope say?
Moved with no forwarding address. Why were you writing to my parents?
I thought it was time for you to go on a long visit.
Visit? I couldn't leave here, especially after you build my tower. It will be a perfect place for me. No drafts, plenty of mirrors, and lots of room for my exquisite hair.
You might as well build her a tower. At least we won't be able to hear her complain from up there.
later.
Fred, I'm too old to climb her hair 3 times a day and take her meals and laundry. She won't let me put in stairs because the door would create a draft. We've got to do something.
Why don't you marry her off?
Great idea, but where would we find a husband?
Let's do what everybody does. We'll run an ad in the personals.
How does this sound? SWF, seeking adventurous prince type who's looking for new heights in a relationship. Send photo to Ivory Tower in the deep, dark woods.
2 weeks later.
Fred, I think we found our victim. I've seen a lot of princes in my time, but even I'm impressed by this guy.
You know, I've always had a special affection for princes. I don't know why, but I do. Let's have him come tomorrow.
The next night.
Hello? Hello? Is anyone here? No one seems to be here. What a pity. I look especially handsome tonight. The moon is perfect lighting for my hair. And speaking of hair, This hair is resplendent. Whew. Wow. This hair is just resplendent. So strong and with no split ends. And I wonder what's at the other end. Well, there appears to be only one way to find out. I hope this doesn't muss up my clothes.
Well, he's been up there for hours now. Do you think that all those mirrors, they've even noticed each other yet?
I have a feeling those two will be perfect for each other if they can just stop looking at themselves.
Witch, where are you? Like, I have such wonderful news. I've met this prince, and OMG, we're getting married. And I know we'll live happily ever after.
6 months later.
And life is peaceful and quiet again. That world cruise was a perfect wedding gift.
The end.
Even more mangled movie trailers.
It was a family business. No one could escape. You either fished or you died. There was no way out. There was no trout about it. The brothers floundered in their attempts to leave. But if they didn't keep trying, they would lose their soul. Corleone Pictures presents The Codfather.
In the old West grocery produce section, there was nasty, and then there was nasty. There was tasty, and there was tasty. But never before had anything been served like this. Del Monte Pictures presents The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly Fruit.
They were bad dogs. They couldn't be trusted at all. But one pretty pooch was out to change all that, though she was not prepared for the cheating, lying, and double-crossing canines. A film of deceit, intrigue, and doggone puppy love. Elpo presents Dirty Rotten Houndrels.
Penelope, Sonia, and Biddy just couldn't stand the chicken coop anymore. So much congestion and upheaval since the new girls were hired. They tried to egg each other on, but the yoke was on them. They no longer ruled the roost. They knew their goose was cooked. Coming soon to a theater near you, No Country for Old Hens.
Good evening, and welcome to Tearjerker Theater. Today we proudly present the movie that all of America is talking about. A simple love story of two college kids in a bittersweet romance, whose greatest joy is in the love that they share. Excuse me.
Tissue, Graham.
A beautiful, tender, heartwarming, tragic tale of young love. Lovely story.
What do you say about a girl who is so young, so beautiful, so brilliant, Theirs was a love that burned bright and pure until tragedy took her from him. He'll never forget the first time that he saw Jenny. She was working part-time in the college library.
Hi, I'm Oliver Harvard IV, rich man about campus and star of the hockey team. Look, I don't fall in love easy, but I haven't been able to take my eyes off of you ever since I walked into the library. Hey, I'm looking.
You're due back February 24th.
Hey, I like a girl with spirit and humor. Look, I'm looking for a romance with a beautiful girl who's pure and wise and womanly.
Try Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm. She's in aisle 14.
Hey, don't let me down. I can give you everything your heart desires. My family is immensely wealthy. We own everything.
I don't want anything. I'm perfectly happy here in the library.
I'll buy the library. It'll be yours and yours alone.
Oh, stop this, Preppy. Just leave me alone.
No, I know you love me.
I never said anything about loving you.
Well, don't you understand? Love means never having to say, I love you.
You mean if I say I don't love you, I do?
Why, of course. Because... not loving means having to get a better haircut. Of course, because not loving means having to say I love you, which I didn't say, and you did.
You mean if I don't say I love you, I do? Well, I never thought of it that way. I guess I don't love you, which means I do.
Darling!
Dearest!
Oh. Darling, just think, we're young lovers now. We can romp through the fields with the wind blowing through our hair in slow motion.
But I don't get off until 5 o'clock.
That's all right. We'll romp in here. Precious one, marry me. Then we'll drive up to my family estate and break the news to my father and mother.
Oh, Ollie, I don't know. I mean, I'm just a girl from the wrong side of the tracks, and you're a high society man.
Oh, hey, precious one, don't you know love means never having to say, I'm just a girl from the wrong side of the tracks?
Oh, Ollie, promise me it'll always be this romantic.
Oh, I can't promise that.
Why not?
The violinist graduates next week.
Oh, Ollie, your home is so fantastic and huge, but I'm really nervous about meeting your mother and father.
Oh, don't be. As soon as you meet them, you'll feel the same way about them as I do. You'll hate them both.
Oh, that's a terrible thing to say, Ollie.
Oh, Not really. We've never been close. You see, my mother raised me in Connecticut, and my father lived in Massachusetts.
My, this is a big house.
Before we begin, I want to get one thing perfectly clear. Which one of you is Oliver?
Father, I'm Oliver.
What have you been doing to yourself?
Mother, I met the most beautiful and wonderful girl.
Where is she?
She's right here. This is Jenny.
Jenny, do we know your family? What is your last name?
Cavalieri Jablonski DiBuccio.
That name doesn't ring a bell. Is your father in the social register?
No, he's in the yellow pages.
Oliver, if you insist on going through with this nonsense of a marriage, we shall cut you off without a penny.
Well, that's all right with us because we don't need your money. We have something that's much more important. We have young love, simple, beautiful, and pure.
We can live without luxuries.
We don't even need the necessities.
We'll get a small apartment somewhere.
In a slum.
So what if we starve?
So what if we starve?
You're two romantic fools. What do you know about love?
What do you know about life?
Stop! Stop! Stop!
You can't stand the truth.
What truth? I can't stand all this music.
Darling, I'm home.
Oh, Oliver, I've missed you so much.
Then next time, let's take out the trash together. Come in.
Telegram!
Darling, I've just gotten a promotion. At the law firm of Vanderbilt, Rockefeller, Midas, and Jones, I'll be making $20,000 a year.
Oh, darling, we're rich.
Come in.
Telegram!
Darling, I've just received another promotion. I've been made senior partner at a salary of $50,000 a year.
Oh, Oliver, now we're super rich.
Come in.
Telegram!
Oh, darling, I've just been named Supreme Court Justice. My salary will be $100,000 a year. Nothing can come between us and our happiness now.
Oh, yes, we're on Easy Street from here on out with nothing to stop us.
From now on, our life is going to be anything with happiness and joy. Uh-oh.
Oh, it's nothing, Ollie.
Telegram!
We better not take any chances. I'll get you the finest doctor that money can buy. Who are you?
I'm the finest doctor money can buy.
How did you even know she was sick?
I heard the music. So take out your time. Oh.
What is it, Doc?
I'm afraid she only has 5 minutes to live.
Oh no! Oh no! 5 minutes to live! Oh no! She's so young! She's so pretty! It's not fair! Oh! Oh, what can I do, Doc? What can I do?
Keep your hair on and don't overact.
Oh, I know. I know. I'll act as though there's nothing wrong. Yes, that's it.
Tissue, Graham?
Oh, thank you. Oh. Darling, guess what? The doctor says there's nothing wrong. You're going to be all right.
Oh, Ollie, that's such great news.
How'd you like something to eat?
I'd love a 4-minute egg.
Mangled movie trailers gone wild.
Rain, snow, sleet, or wind, the man appeared at every time, the same day, the same place, and a woman was always there waiting just for him. But one day the man failed to show up. When her family came for dinner, she was distraught. When asked why, she said, "But the postman always brings rice."
All the men wanted to be just like him. All the women wanted to be with him. All the children couldn't wait for their appointment. Dr. Moeller had it all: charisma, charm, skill, wit, and a gleaming smile. But lurking behind that sparkling exterior was the story of a skin of his teeth orthodontist having a dental breakdown. Novocaine Pictures proudly presents The Wizard of Oz.
It began with a vacation on a lettuce farm in Bakersfield. 2 strangers, a young woman spreading her wings and an older man finding love. Andiv Pictures presents Romaine Holiday.
They had gone for hours without eating so much as a candy bar. A dozen hostile fellows with growling stomachs chomping at the bit in a jury room. Untied Artists presents a Sidney Lummix production, 12 Hangry Men.
The movie that never was.
Have you ever heard a famous movie line so many times that you can say it in your sleep?
Have you ever seen a movie so many times that you can say the lines right along with the actors?
Do you ever wonder if a famous movie line was really written in the script or if it was just a stroke of genius on the spot?
What would happen if famous lines and titles from different movies were all added together to create a completely different story?
Well, we're about to find out.
SSRO presents The Movie That Never Was.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
I'm just Ken.
Hello, gorgeous.
Here's looking at you, kid.
But I'm not bad. I'm just made that way.
You had me at hello.
You talking to me?
What we've got here is a failure to communicate.
Houston, we have a problem.
Fasten your seatbelts. It is going to be a bumpy night.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
If you build it, he will come.
Show me the money!
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
May the force be with you.
Say hello to my little friend.
They call me Mr. Tibbs.
My name is Inigo Montoyo. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Go ahead, make my day.
Stella!
Rosebud.
Adrian!
Auntie M! Auntie M!
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me, aren't you?
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Snap out of it.
I could have been a contender.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
E.T. phone home.
There's no place like home.
Who rang that bell?
You can't handle the truth.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
Elementary, my dear Watson.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
There's no crying in baseball.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death.
Mama always said life was like a box of chocolates.
I'll have what she's having.
I do wish we could chat longer, but I'm having an old friend for dinner.
Well, this is another fine mess you've gotten me into.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Manic movie trailers.
The Arctic is a brutal place, even in the best of times, but what's a fella to do? Frozen and unable to use their instruments, Phony Curtis and Jack Lemming must find the motivation to perform while pretending to be musicians in an all-girl band. And perform they do. 19th Century Lamb presents Hum Like It's Hot.
An infant on a department store buying spree? Questionable parenting by Barry Grant and Katharine Hepburn. And at what cost? Find out in RKO Pectates, Ringing Up Baby.
He thought he knew his wife. She thought he would never find out. Runaround Sue cavorted while he herded through the grapevine. He was secretly being fleeced. People are flocking to the cinema for While You Were Sheeping. And now, Grove's Emulsified Nose Drops presents My Friend Irma, created by Cy Howard, transcribed from Hollywood, and starring Becky Jensen as Irma and Pat Shapley as Jane.
Ever hear the expression, into each life a little rain must fall? Well, my name is Jane Stacy, and I live with Irma Peterson, the Niagara Falls of my life. Irma,
Yes,
where's that rug I brought home yesterday for the hallway?
I threw it out.
You threw it out? Why?
Well, Jane, no matter how tough things get with us, we're never going to keep stolen merchandise.
Well, that's what I get for telling her it was a hooked rug. Now look, Irma.
I'll get it. Hello. Yes, this is Irma Peterson. Who's calling? The New York Secretarial Club. What? You're sending over a group of members to see me? Well, of all the nerve, goodbye.
Irma, why'd you hang up like that?
How do you like that darn club of mine? Just because I'm behind 1 month in my dues, they're sending a delegation to see me. Well, I won't let them in.
Temper, Irma, temper. Remember what I said. When you start feeling angry, count to 10.
Oh, that's no good. I never know what comes after 7, and that makes me angrier. Can you imagine my own club, of which I have been a member for 3 years, through snow and rain and heat and gloom of night? I allowed nothing to stop me from the swift completion of my appointed rounds.
Oh, the mail's going to be late tonight. Irma, are you sure they said they were coming over to collect the dues?
No, but that's just their sneaky way of doing things. Oh, it burns me up. Do you know, Jane, I never missed a meeting? The things I have done for that club. Wearing my fingers to the bones, knitting woolen socks for members whose husbands were overseas. And not ordinary socks. Good socks. You know, gargoyles.
Argyles. And Irma, I saw those socks you knitted. Maybe that's why the girls are angry with you. Each one had 6 toes.
Well, Jane, a soldier has to have a place to carry his money. And how about the charity work I've done for them? Last Thanksgiving, when they wanted to give turkeys away to poor families, I donated 12.
Irma, handing out a dozen eggs to club members and asking them to sit on them until they hatch is not my idea of a donation.
Look, Jane, I've never let them down. I've sold chances. Why, last month I paid $2 for a raffle ticket for a trip to the coronation. Did I hesitate? No. I'm always doing things for that club. Every time they need me, I'm the Johnny that puts them on the spot.
Well, maybe they just feel that members should pay their dues promptly.
Well, I paid my dues for the last time. When those girls get here, I'm going to hand them my letter of resignation. Jane, will you write it for me?
Oh, no.
I'll dictate. Please, Jane.
Oh, Irma, I think you're... Oh, if you insist. Make it short.
To the New York Secretarial Club. Dear girls. No. Cross it out. It's too friendly.
All right, it's crossed.
Make it gentlemen.
Gentlemen?
I, Irma Peterson, do hereby offer my tender resignation from the...
No, Irma, it's I tender my resignation.
Good for you, Jane. We'll both quit.
Irma, I didn't... Oh, never mind.
Please continue, Jane.
The pencil keeps cringing, but I'll try. Go ahead.
The reasons I am resigning from the club are, number 1, I've always been suspicious of our treasurer. Every time we pay dues, she buys a new hat. Number 2, when we had the pie baking contest, not only didn't I get a prize, but 3 of the judges sent me their doctor bills.
You're lucky it wasn't funeral expenses. Imagine baking chiffon pie with chiffon.
Well, they wanted original recipes.
This must be the postal inspector. I'll get it.
Hello, Jane. Is Irma here?
Why, it's Scarlet Schmierbaum. Yes, she's here. Come in.
Thank you, Jane. You know Violet Buffet.
Oh, yes, of course. How are you, Violet?
I'm doing fine. I hope you're doing well.
There you are, Irma. Irma?
She's not talking.
What's the matter, dearie? You got a cold?
Jane, please tell them I'm out.
All right, but where should I say you've gone?
Just tell them I'm not here.
We know that, Irma, but we like you for what you are.
Please don't bring friendship up now. It's too late to lock the barn door after the horse is gone, and I'm not going back in.
What's the matter, Irma? Why are you staring like that? Don't you recognize us? Do you have magnesia or something?
I think she's popped her cork.
I think you're right. Irma's flipped her lid.
Jane, give them the letter I dictated.
Okay, if you insist.
I don't know what this letter is all about, but from the way Irma is acting, maybe we ought to hold another drawing and give the prize to someone else. She ain't all here.
Prize?
Yeah?
What prize?
Hold it, girls. I think the ghost of Irma is rejoining you.
I won a prize?
The raffle, honey. An all-expense-paid trip to the coronation in England.
What?
We had the raffle last night. It's a special meeting, and Irma's number was picked. That's why we came over, to give her the prize money.
Irma, isn't this just wonderful? Imagine you of all the secretaries in New York.
Gee, you are lucky, Irma.
Well, Irma, say something.
Give me back the letter.
Well, Irma, here's your check for all your expenses.
Let me see. Oh my gosh, $20.
Irma, that's $2,000.
Oh, all those nothings confuse me.
You were always confused by nothing. Cookie, $2,000.
Oh, Jane, I'm so happy I could cry.
And we couldn't be happier if it were happening to us, right, Violet?
Yeah.
You have fun, Irma. And remember, when you get back, you will be expected to give a speech at the club telling us all about the coronation.
Oh, I will. And to make sure nothing gets by me when I get to London, I'll hire an interpreter.
Goodbye, Irma. Bon voyage.
Oh, Jane, I can't believe it.
Just imagine, pretty soon you'll be seeing England, the Thames, Piccadilly Circus. Oh, sweetie, I can't help but envy you.
Well, you could do the same thing if you saved your money.
What are you talking about saving money? You bought a raffle ticket.
Well, how do you think I got the $2? I saved it.
Come in.
Hello, girls. It's me, Maestro van der Keen. Irma, darling, what's the matter? There's something the matter, I know. Oh, you got a Charlie horse. Yeah. You got a Charlie horse or something? Why are you doing knee-bends?
That's supposed to be a curtsy. Irma just won an all-expense-paid trip to England.
No fooling. That's marvelous, Irma, darling. I'm very happy for you.
Thank you, Maestro. I still can't believe it's true.
Ah, England. You know, I spent 3 years in London, you know.
Is that so?
Yes, every morning I would look out my window and see Big Ben.
Well, he better not go around looking through my window or there'll be trouble.
Irma, Big Ben is a clock. Maestro, I'm a little bit worried about her going over there by herself.
What's to worry about? If she ever gets lost, she can ask a Bobby.
A Bobby?
Yes, that's what they call a policeman over there.
Well, since I'm a visitor, I'll be more formal. I'll ask for Robert.
Oh, I got a feeling those English people don't know what a real fog is yet.
Don't worry about me, Jane. I guarantee I'll know my way around as soon as I learn the language.
Where did you go? Why did you leave me in a big mango? You left me for another. You left me alone and so blue. Please come back. Hey, Jack, come on back.
Jack, if you know what's good for you, keep moving.
Yoo-hoo! Anybody home?
Come in, Mrs. O'Reilly.
Hello, girls. Hello, Maestro.
Well, Mrs. O'Reilly, look at your hair. Is that the new upsweep?
Oh, do you like it?
I think it's very becoming.
So do I, because she looks like something that should be swept up.
Oh, nobody asked you. Well, girls, what's new?
What's new? Mrs. O'Reilly, this will floor you. Irma has won a free trip to England.
Glory be!
That's right. I bought the winning ticket in the raffle our club held.
Oh, how about that? I've been buying raffle tickets all my life. The only thing I ever won was 3 facial treatments from Sally's beauty salon.
I'd hate to see what the loser got.
Well, that's enough out of you. If you don't be quiet, I'll give you a facial treatment that plastic surgery won't cure. Oh, Irma, I can't tell you how excited I am for you. You know, I spent much of me childhood in London. Many a kiss was stolen in the fog.
Really, Mrs. O'Reilly?
Oh, yes. When I was 18, I used to have a rendezvous with a handsome palace guard almost every night on one of the bridges that crossed the River Thames.
And that's when they wrote that famous song, London Bridge is Falling Down.
That's the last straw. Get out of me way, girls.
Take it easy, Mrs. O'Reilly. You wouldn't hit a man with glasses, would you?
Then be taking them off.
Oh, this I can do for 2 reasons. One, you would hit me. And number 2, if I took off my glasses, you might look attractive to me.
Please, the two of you don't quarrel on the happiest day of my life. I've got so much to think about and so much to do.
Incidentally, Cookie, what are you going to tell your boss, Mr. Clyde?
Oh, don't worry about him. I can take care of Mr. Clyde.
Sure.
Well, he'll do anything for me. Doesn't he send me a wire on my birthday every year?
I know, and with a note attached to it asking you to hang yourself with it.
Oh, Mr. Clyde, Mr. Clyde.
Yes, Miss Peterson?
I'm leaving the country.
What did your boyfriend Al do now?
No, I want a free trip to England.
When are you leaving?
Right away.
No, you're not. You're not going till you apologize to Mr. Brown.
Mr. Brown?
Yes, that letter I dictated to you last week.
Yes?
He's suing me.
Why?
I told you to write that Mrs. Brown had complained that there were leaks in the plumbing and the head of the hot water boiler had spouted steam that was causing rust to form on all the pipes. I did not say there was a leak in Mrs. Brown's head and she was steamed up because Mr. Brown's pipes were all rusty. Now get on that phone.
All right, Mr. Clyde. But what should I tell Mr.
Tell him that
Brown?
through a stupid mistake of yours, you got the details of the plumbing confused and you meant nothing against his wife, one of the loveliest women a man can marry.
All that?
Tell him to him.
Hello?
Go on.
Hello, Mr. Brown. This is Miss Peterson, Mr. Clyde's secretary. I know it's a lovely mistake, but you must not let the plumbing confuse you just because you were stupid enough to marry Mrs. Brown.
Give me that phone. Brown, I'll call you later. Miss Peterson, get out of here.
Oh, it's so nice to have your blessing. I'll be just in time to get my shots.
Then by all means go, and you can tell the people who give you the shots I'd be honored if they would use my gun.
Is that you, Cookie?
Jane, what an experience I just had. If I wasn't so bright, someone could have taken advantage of me.
What do you mean?
Well, they use different money in England than we do here.
Yes, I know.
So, when I was at the bank, I asked them to change my $2,000 for English money. They said they would give me 800 pounds.
Well, what'd you do?
They couldn't fool me. I put it on the scale. 800 pounds? It hardly weighed 4 ounces.
Irma, I think the time has come for a conference. I don't think you should try and tackle this trip alone.
Why not?
Well, there's so many things to do and so many things to buy, you're going to get taken.
Honestly, really, Jane, how can you say this? I happen to be a very clever shopper.
Yeah, like that lace tablecloth you bought last week. Genuine imported Army surplus mosquito netting.
Well, the man showed me the label. It said unusual Damascus.
It said unusable damaged.
So I made one little mistake.
One little mistake. What happened last month when I sent you out to buy a Lazy Susan? What'd you come back with?
A manhole cover on a stick.
See what I mean? Come in.
Hello, Jane. Hiya, chicken.
Hello, Al, honey.
Chicken, they told me, did you really win the raffle?
Yes, Al, it's true. I got a check for $2,000 for a trip to London.
You're not going, of course.
Sure, I'm going, Al. I'm supposed to. That's what the prize is for.
Forget it, chicken. Who's gonna know? That 2 G's makes a great beginning for our coming nuptials.
Please, Al, it's not too polite to talk about those things until after we're married.
Besides, I don't like the idea of you wandering around a foreign country. I'm a little suspicious of them English guys who drink tea in the afternoon.
What are you suspicious about, Al?
Well, every time they see a dame, they say, pip, pip. What business is it of theirs if you're a pip?
But, Al, what's that got to do with me?
I don't think you'll fit in over there.
Why, Al?
You're afraid of an ordinary housefly. How are you going to get along with people who play with crickets all day?
Well,
And I suppose they ask you to go ride the hounds.
well, I've never been on a dog, but there's a first time for everything.
No, chicken. You don't get on the dog, you get on the fox. And you chase the dog. That's known as chutney.
Al, I don't think it's your business to stand here and discourage Irma. She won a prize that comes once in a lifetime, and I want her to have fun. It's just that I don't want her to handle all the details herself.
Well, you're right there, Jane. Chicken, how do you plan to go, by boat or plane?
Well, I think a ship is safer. A plane could fall. On the other hand, the plane could fall on the ship, so I think I'll take a train to London.
You see what I mean, Al? And she wants to handle all the details herself.
This is my trip, and I'm going to handle it my way. Now, first of all, what's the temperature over there?
Well, it can get a little cool in the evening.
Oh, well then I think I'll buy one of those hot water bottles they use over there. You know, the ones with the tube sticking out?
Irma, that's a bagpipe. You play it, you don't sleep on it.
Well, I'm just feeling my way. Don't you worry, Jane. When I come back from my shopping trip, everything will be under control.
Irma, I beg you, don't look for bargains. Don't buy anything secondhand. Make sure everything is new. Go on the newest boat, stop at the newest hotel, wear the newest clothes.
I won't forget, Jane. Everything new. Why, I may even come back with something that isn't even out yet.
What can I do for you, miss?
What's new?
I beg your pardon?
Well, that's all I can buy. What's new?
Madam, I haven't got all day. Are you interested in some luggage?
Yes, what's that bag over here?
That is genuine snakeskin.
Old snakes or new?
We don't know. When we caught them, they didn't have their birth certificates.
Well, I can't take any chances because...
Yes, miss?
I'm going to take a trip, and I would like to get my shots.
Shots. Now, what kind of preventative shots did you have in mind?
I don't know. What's the newest diseases?
I beg your pardon?
My roommate said I didn't know how to shop and that I should only get the newest things. But maybe first of all, I'd better get a shot for rabies.
Rabies?
Yes, I'm going to London, and I heard that song, Mad Dogs and Englishmen, and I don't know which I'm going out with.
Irma, you better hurry. You gotta get to the airport.
Don't worry, Jane, I'm all packed.
Oh, sweetie, I'm gonna miss you terribly, but have the most wonderful time in the world.
I will, Jane. Aren't you proud that I took care of all the arrangements myself?
Well, I must say, you amazed me. Here, honey, here's a little farewell gift for you.
Oh, is it a lavalier?
No, it's a tag. If you get lost, they'll mail you back to me.
And here's a little something from me, Irma.
What is it?
Oh, just a little cake that says bon voyage.
Oh, thank you.
Throw it away, Irma, at once.
Why?
They'll think you went to Ireland and broke off a piece of the Blarney Stone.
Oh, I'm going to miss you all so much.
You'll tell us all about it later when we see you off at the airport.
No, Jane. I want to say goodbye here. I've handled everything so far, and I don't want to feel like I'm a little baby that can't be trusted to get on the right plane.
But Irma...
Everybody kiss me goodbye. Goodbye, Jane.
Goodbye, Cookie.
And now, Irma, darling, let me blow you a kiss goodbye. Mrs. O'Reilly, don't you dare stand in front of her.
Ooh, I think I lost me head for a moment.
Goodbye, Maestro.
Goodbye.
Mrs. O'Reilly.
Oh, goodbye, dear. Now you've got me crying and my mascara is running.
Well, tell it to run after your eyelashes. They just fell off.
And you, Al.
My chickie.
My Wiki.
Chicky, Wicky. That reminds me, here's some Dramamine in case you get air sicky.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Toodaloo. Bye.
Well, Irma's been gone 2 days now. She's probably over in London, you know. She's really surprised me. Took care of all the arrangements herself. I'm sure the first thing she's going to do is go to Buckingham Palace to watch the changing of the guards. And I'm sure she tried to time it so she'd get there before the prices change. Hello?
Hello, is that you, Jane?
Irma, is this an overseas call?
Well, not exactly.
What do you mean, not exactly?
Well, remember when I went shopping, you told me to get everything new?
Yes.
Well, sometimes it doesn't work out so good.
What do you mean?
Well, when I bought my ticket at the airport, the fellow asked me if I was going to marry Old England.
Yes.
So I said, I don't want anything old. I'm a good shopper. I want New England.
Irma, where are you?
I'm in Boston.
Thank you for coming. Join us for refreshments in the lobby. Thank you.